Players constantly ask me how they can increase their shooting range so that they can start shooting from farther back. For some of you, that might mean finally making it back to the three-point line where you can comfortably shoot threes. For some of you guys, that might mean shooting NBA threes. And for some of you guys, it might mean that you want to be able to shoot from anywhere past half court the way guys like Damian Lillard can. So today I'm going to break down for you the 3 areas you need to focus on if you want to be able to extend your range and finally shoot from where you want to be able to shoot from. Let's get into it. So the number one area for you to focus on if you want to be able to extend your range is focusing on getting stronger. Your range is going to be limited by how strong you are. And for a lot of younger players, you might just not be strong enough to shoot as far back as you might want to. You might not be strong enough to shoot threes yet. You might not be strong enough to shoot NBA threes yet. And you probably aren't strong enough to shoot from half court yet. A lot of times with age, that strength is going to come naturally. For those of you guys who are a little bit older and you still struggle with extending your range, you're going to want to make sure that you work on your strength. Now by strength, I mean 3 key areas: your lower body, your core, and your upper body. All 3 of these areas are going to be important for you to develop if you want to be able to maintain good form while you move farther back, because obviously, as the basket becomes farther away, it takes more effort to get the ball there and to get it there accurately. Therefore, your strength needs to go up. So if you find that when you move back, you have to start changing your form, or you feel like you have to start launching the ball or throwing the ball to really get it that far, it probably means that you aren't strong enough yet to be shooting from that far. And that's okay. Here's what you need to do. The first thing is that if you're able to get in the weight room, ideally with a coach, ideally with somebody who knows what they're doing, that would be a great step for you to take right here. If not, there are plenty of workouts you can find that are going to be able to target those 3 areas: your lower body, your core, and your upper body, so you can strengthen all of them and be able to shoot from farther back. I also have a full body weight program on YouTube that you can look at if you guys want some ideas of how you can get stronger without using any weights at all. I'll go ahead and link it above for you guys. But for those of you who have access to a weight room and ideally a coach or good workouts you can use, that's another great option for you to do for you to be able to get stronger. And as you start to get stronger, it's going to become easier and easier for you to be able to shoot from farther back. A major myth about lifting weights or about getting stronger is that it's going to ruin your shot, and that could not be farther from the truth. In today's game of basketball, every player lifts weights, and every NBA team and high major college team pays a strength and conditioning coach a lot of money to put their players through strength workouts. So you better believe that it's very, very important. As long as you continue to stay in the gym and working your shot, getting stronger will not hurt your shot, and the only thing it can do is help you. So again, point number 1 is getting stronger. The reason that it's point number 1 is because it's the most important part. If you aren't strong enough to shoot from as far back as you want to, that's the end of it. That's what you need to focus on. Now, maybe you are strong enough, or maybe you're starting to work on your strength right now, and now we can move on to number 2, which is your mechanics. Now, there are a few key things we can focus on when we talk about your mechanics during your shot. The first thing you need to make sure of is that you have good mechanics from closer range. If you find that you're inconsistent as a mid-range shooter, then don't move back and try and launch threes until you find that you're able to shoot consistently from the mid-range. If you find that you're inconsistent as a 3-point shooter at the high school line, don't try and move back to the NBA line until you feel like you're more consistent as a 3-point shooter there. I have a whole playlist that's devoted to helping you guys develop your shot. If you feel like you might have some issues with your mechanics, I'll go ahead and link that above as well. Make sure you check that out. Once you feel comfortable with your mechanics and you're strong enough to shoot back from 3, there are 3 areas of a jump shot that really help guys shooting from farther away. The first thing we're going to focus on is the dip. A major myth in basketball that coaches will say is that you should never dip the basketball when you catch it. This is completely untrue, and if you look at any shooter who's great, you're going to see them dip the basketball every single time they catch the ball, especially from farther back. Let's look at this clip of Damian Lillard right here shooting this shot, and notice the dip as soon as he shoots the ball. Or if we look at Paul George right here, it's the same exact thing. He's going to dip before he goes into his shot. And this helps with a couple of things. The first thing it helps with is your rhythm going into your shot, which is very, very important. And it's also going to help you with the power that you're going to need to be able to shoot that shot. Now, if you're shooting from really far away, where you probably aren't going to be guarded up close, it's okay to have a slightly exaggerated dip if you want to. One that might be a little bit deeper than it would be if you were shooting from the mid-range, for example. That's the first category that's going to help you when trying to shoot from farther back. The second part of your mechanics that are going to help you a lot when shooting from farther back is the sway. Now, what this means is that when you go up for your shot, your body's naturally going to sway backwards and your feet are going to land forwards. We can look at my shots right here, and you're going to notice the same exact thing. Right at the three-point line, you're going to see a sway, but you're also going to see that same sway moving farther back behind the NBA line. And lastly, notice the lean that I have on my landing. Another myth in basketball is that you need to land straight up and straight down and that your feet can't move from where you started from. But again, that's not true at all. If you watch the guys who are the best shooters in the world do this, you're going to notice that dip, the sway, and the lean all in their landing. Those are 3 areas that are going to help you with shooting in general, but especially as you move farther back. So just to recap again, point number 1, you need to get stronger if you struggle shooting from farther back. Once we've addressed that, we can move on to point number 2, which is focusing on your mechanics in those 3 areas that are going to help you shoot from farther back. And number 3, the actionable step you can take is you want to practice shooting slightly beyond your range as often as you can. So if you're comfortable shooting threes, maybe move back and shoot from right behind the college line now. If you're comfortable shooting from the college line, start to shoot some NBA threes. That's going to naturally allow you to progress your range forward without completely overwhelming you and breaking down your form. Ultimately, just extending past your range and really making yourself a little bit uncomfortable with that jump shot is going to help you to be able to extend your range and become more consistent as a shooter. A great rule of thumb is that during your shooting workouts, take a step back. If you shoot threes right at the high school line, shoot from a step behind and start to get comfortable doing that. And as you get comfortable doing that, take another step back, or maybe take 2 steps back. Continue to move back as you feel comfortable, probably until you get to the NBA line, maybe farther back if you really, really want to. And putting all 3 of those things together is what's going to help you guys to finally extend your range and hit those deep shots that you want to be hitting. I appreciate you guys for watching. Make sure you guys click the top link in my description below to get my free Elite Perimeter Scorer workout, where we're going to work on the skills that you're going to need to develop if you want to be an elite scorer on the perimeter, completely free. I'll send it right to you. And if you guys are interested in any of my online training, the link for that is also going to be down below in the description. Drop a like, subscribe if you're new, and leave a comment for me. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you want to see next. That's it, guys. Peace.